Oh, yeah. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the After the Review Studios. We will be hanging out. I'm going to be breaking down everything we need to know for our conference championship games. Eagles and the Commies versus the Bills and the Chiefs. But let the chat roll on in here. Get ready to lock in. Lock in for these games. These are big ones. These are big games, guys. Cole, got to go to bed in 10 minutes. Oh, sorry, big dog. I know usually later during the week. I know you youngins got to go to school, but that's all right. I'll have a video out tomorrow breaking down everything we talk about. I already recorded it. So can we just end this one in a tie and get Buffalo and KC in the Super Bowl? No. Unfortunately, Cats, unfortunately. One of these terrible NFC East teams have to represent our shitty conference. I think everyone's on the Commies bandwagon just for like everyone hates Philly, but if we want the best game, I think we want the Eagles to lose. We want Eagles to play the Chiefs or the Bills. And then somebody wins. Somebody finds a way to beat the Eagles. Like, just give us the Chiefs. I mean, nobody wants the Chiefs to win 3, so really it's the Bills. Jalen Hurts about to be the worst quarterback in the Super Bowl since Flacco. Is Jalen Hurts worse than Brock Purdy? I don't know if that's fair. Maybe with his gimpy-ass knee. Colt doesn't have any school anymore. Snow. Yeah, there's snow everywhere. 10 inches in Pensacola, Florida. 8 inches in New Orleans. Crazy work. I'm trying to think of other terror. I mean, I guess it would be the same Super Bowl as Colin Kaepernick. Okay, Joe Flacco, one of the best playoff quarterbacks ever, Cats. Virginia, yup. Everybody's getting snow everywhere. Literally everywhere across the country basically got snow except like the West Coast. We got snow on Tuesday in Texas. What's the matchup? Let me get a poll going here. You want... Okay, he's not that, Cats. That's a little aggressive. I mean, we did see him throw for 3 Bills in a Super Bowl 2 years ago. Josh Dobbs would never throw for 3 Bills in a Super Bowl. I don't give a shit who's on his team. That would never happen. So, let's go Commanders, Chiefs, Commanders, Bills, Eagles, Chiefs. Why did Chiefs get all messed up? Chiefs and Eagles. Bills. Sorry I was late to the stream, guys. I was over here watching the Aggies play hoops, and they hit a buzzer beater basically to win. So I'm in a very good mood right now. So don't be mean to me because I'm in a great mood. Or do bully me. Let's put it on W. Commanders for the win, Dreadshot Chronicles says. All right, speaking of the Commies, the Commanders, everybody drop a like, first of all, on the stream if you haven't already. Helps us out, get us in the algorithm. Let us keep cooking, but let's start this game off. So, first game on Sunday, we are going to the city of brotherly love. Now, whether you love that or hate that, we're going to take Commanders, Eagles. Line is 6. I'm a little surprised by this line. I thought it'd be a lot closer. Eagles laying the 6. I think it opened at 5.5. And that's kind of where PFF has their projections. Plus 5.5, 5.3, 5.3. So 5.5 or 5 would be a good number. So there is some value if we're talking Commanders, if you want to bet this. 60% of the money's on the Commanders, 66% of the bets. I think everyone just kind of likes the Commanders. Everyone's feeling the buzz, feeling the vibe. I mean, just immaculate vibes in Washington. They haven't made an NFC championship game since 1992. So, first one there. The Cowboys are now the longest loser streak ever. Gomi, what's up? You got cooking up some bets for us this week. City of Brotherly Love has got to be sarcasm. Nah, man, that's their title. They're the City of Brotherly Love. They love everybody. They're just brotherly love, man. They haven't tarnished that. So anyway, so I think there's some good value here on the Commanders. What are we looking at the total? 47.5. PFF says 46, so good value betting an under here. The weather isn't going to be too bad in Washington. In Philly. It's going to be like 39, no snow. We're not going to see that snow effect again. So it's good football. I enjoyed the snow games for championship games. I kind of want it to be clean weather, but like cold. Like I like that it's 40, but not snowy, not too windy. I want it to be a little cold out, make them feel it. But what's your most liked video? I have no idea. Cole, I know what my most liked short is and much, but I don't know what my most liked regular video is. Oh, what's Saquon's rushing pick'ems? That's probably, let's see, do we got player props here? Let's go, let's see if I can get some betting going on PFF. Prop bets, here we go. Let's look at, where's my man Saquon thing? Barkley. 143 rushing yards. Or 128? I don't know what they're telling me here. They got 128. Oh, 128 and a half rushing yards, 143 receiving and rushing yard total. So that's our man Saquon right there. So not 128 and a half. I kind of like that over, man. Washington got cooked against him in the most recent game, but they did a really good job in the second half. They gave up like 105 yards in the first quarter and then held them to 42 the rest of the game. 521. That's pretty good. I don't know the exact number, but it's my man JJ McCarthy's dad getting a little grab on his girlfriend over there. Longest rush. Let's see. Do we have individual longest rush? Sort by game. Let's go. Position running back. Bet type. Let me just look at all the Saquon parlays or totals. No, they don't have his longest rush on PFF. I'm sure DraftKings or anybody, FanDuel, Action might actually. Does Action have that? Action kind of sucks now. Action really sucks on the internet. Action is definitely much more an app than an internet thing. Can I, okay. Can I get some odds here? Commies, Eagles. Give me some props, big dogs. Here we go. Props. No, I can't get longest run, longest rush. I can only do rushing yards. Here, and it's Saquon, and it's locked. Action sucks, man. Trash. Ooh, underdog is 23.5 for Saquon. Smash that. Yeah, 23.5 longest run. Yeah, Saquon's chunking out 60-yard touchdowns like he's eating them for breakfast, man. Night, Colt. Thanks for stopping by. Don't worry. Like I said, I'm going to have a regular video drop tomorrow, so all the stuff I'm going to talk about today, I'm going to talk about the video, and really more kind of like a breakdown of everything. So, let's get back into it, guys. So these teams played twice, obviously, this year. Eagles won the first game 26-18, but that game was 7-3 Washington going into the half, and Philly kicked a field goal right before the half. So Washington was up pretty much 7-0 the entire first half. Then Washington scored again. Then Philly went on a 23-0 scoring streak at the end of the third quarter and into the fourth quarter. So with like 5 minutes left in the third quarter, Philly kicked a field goal. And they went right, just went right down the field after that. Saquon chunked out a big rushing touchdown there in that first game. The Commanders scored late to make it 18. So it was, it was 14-3, I think. Yeah, it was 14-3 or 10. Yeah, it was 10-3. And then Philly scored 23 straight. Maddox, Bill's going to win 31-24. Barely keeps his eyes open. Then go to bed, big dog. Don't worry about it, man. You don't got to stay up and listen to me rattle off this nonsense. So that was the first game in Philly. Saquon had a good game in that one. He had a good game in the second game, too. Second game, obviously, the most recent data point we have. The Commanders won that game 36-33 in Washington. That game was 21-7. Jalen Hurts didn't finish this game, obviously. He gets hurt. He gets hurt out there, so it's Kenny Pickett. And Kenny Pickett really didn't play bad, but he really wasn't great out there. If you look at, I think it was week 15 this game. No? Week 16 then. So it had to be week. Was it weeks? Yeah. Commanders, Eagles. Week 16 there. Let's look at the box score on this one. Oh, we got fantasy and everything. Kenny Pickett, 14-24. Okay, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Threw the pick early, though. Maddox, the Commanders fans, got to stay for the breakdown. Tanner McKee over injured Jalen Hurts. Potentially. Tanner McKee did look good against the Cowgirls. Kenny Pickett does have a rib injury, too. Did take 3 sacks. Washington did a good job getting after them, I thought. But they were still giving up, like I said, a lot. Saquon, 29 carries, 150, but had over 100 in the first quarter. 2 touchdowns, had that 68-yarder. And this was Daniels' maybe worst game as like a starting quarterback turnover-wise, threw 2 picks, but he did have 5 touchdowns. And he threw a late pick that was kind of, it felt like a backbreaker. Threw a late pick in this game. When, let's see, does the summary have this? No, let's, plays. Here we go. So Daniels throws this interception with 3:06 left at his own 40. This is looking like GG's right here. They're down 30-28. They're down 30-28. I think they're down 2 at this point. Philly comes out. Comes out, rush, pass, and they have a third and short. Third and 5. They get a penalty. 2nd and 3, past 8-yard gains. Oh, 3-yard loss. I was thinking that was a 3-yard gain right there. I was like, holy shit, what? 3 and 8 make 11, guys. That's a first down. So they had a 3rd and 5. They throw it. Devonta Smith drops the wide open first down. Jake Elliott sinks the field goal, makes it 33-28. So they go up more than a field goal. And then we just watched Jaden Daniels carve them up. 7 yards, 5 yards, 10 yards, 12-yard run, 7-yard pass, 2-yard run, timeout, 5-yard run, but B-Rob, incomplete. 9-yard back of the end zone, tutty. Get the 2-point conversion. And that's all she wrote on this one. So Jaden Daniels did what we didn't think was really possible against this Eagles defense coming into this game. Like, the Eagles defense was like best in yards and everything, best in passing defense, best in rushing defense. And this was the first game where we saw that young secondary with the exciting Whites and rookie Quinion Mitchell kind of get beat up, man. They kind of got beat up. Now, CJ Gardner-Johnson did get ejected early from this game as well. And don't let Eagle fans tell you that's why, Eagle fans will always come with an excuse. Washington looked flat out good offensively. Jaden Daniels, 5 touchdowns, was throwing it all over the place, but they couldn't run the ball. And we've seen some effective running from Washington in this postseason run. They ran the ball pretty well against a good Detroit Lions run defense. They ran the ball not great against Tampa, but Tampa was probably the best run defense in football, maybe second. Tampa, Minnesota, Denver, you kind of can rotate, throw Philly in there. There's your top 4. So it's not like Washington doesn't have experience taking on good run defenses. I actually kind of like this matchup for Washington. Carter's a Commanders fan. All the commie fans rising up there. So I kind of like this matchup for Washington. I think they're going to be able to move the football. We just see this offense. It's absolutely humming right now. They have a lot of confidence against this Eagles team, and you can't not have confidence. You just won the last game against them. The first game, you can say, oh, it was, earlier in the season, we were banged up. I mean, Jaden Daniels was clearly hurt this year. I mean, if you remember how good they started this season, Washington was great, remember? And then the Hail Mary game, they get it. Jaden Daniels busts up his ribs, and he just isn't quite the same for a good stretch of the season. Finally gets healthy the last month or so, and they've been on a freaking roll right now. They have been cooking on offense. Everything they do works. They can throw the ball. They're getting good runs out of them. Scary Terry's been awesome. De'Ami Brown, he's really emerged as like a true number 2 receiver. He's got like 98 yards in both playoff wins for them. Add in Zach Ertz, who's as reliable as a veteran tight end as you're going to find in this league. Still got something going out there. I really like the direction that this Washington offense is moving. And their defense is playing pretty well. Like, they gave up 31 points to the Lions, but they forced 5 turnovers. If you're not a great defense, if you're going to be able to get after people, force picks, force fumbles, make big plays, sack the quarterback, that's going to cover your ass when you can't get stops. Like, those are stops. Like, if you're going to give up points, you got to be able to make big plays. Carter's a Commanders and a Bills fan this weekend. Austin, let's freaking go. Buckeyes and the Bills. Oh, he's riding high right now. But if you flip that, Washington's run defense really isn't that good. They've been okay in the playoffs. Gibbs still carved them up. Detroit just to stop running the football. They should have gave the ball to Gibbs like every play. Probably would have ran for 250 and 4 touchdowns, but they didn't stick to the running game with them. 6 root beers for Austin. He's going to drink the country out of root beers. They're going to stick to the running game. Philly's going to stick to the running game, unlike Detroit did, I think. Knowing what Jalen Hurts' his limited ability is, that is a concern for me. If you're not able to threaten the defense with your runs, he's not that kind of guy in the pocket, man. He can get the ball out quick, but he's not making quick reads. He's not making super accurate, decisive throws. So now you're looking at a guy... Sorry, y'all. You're looking at a guy who's a less good version of Jared Goff if he's going to be stuck in the pocket, just kind of sit in the pocket and have to throw. Jared Goff's a much better passer than Jared Goff is. Like, Jared Goff had a concussion. He had already thrown 2 picks prior to that. He had the fumble and he had thrown 2 picks and a fumble prior to that, I think. Mr. Goff, or at least the fumble and the pick prior to any sort of concussion on that pick 6 return. So it's just Jared Goff in big games. So that is a concern if you're Philly. Like, if Jalen Hurts really can't run, he's really not mobile, he's not going to be able to move the pocket, they're going to stack this box because Washington clearly found some sort of magic, some mojo. After that first quarter against Saquon, they made an adjustment, and Saquon wasn't able to get after them. And I don't think they fear this Philly passing game. They really do not fear this Philly passing game. Now, it's obviously mismatches everywhere with Devonta Smith, A.J. Brown. Dallas Goedert's been very heavy in the mix in the last few weeks. So, this is a big if, Hurts can move the football throwing here, Washington's going to be in real trouble. Washington's going to be in real trouble on defense if Philly is able to move the sticks, throw it on 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7 even maybe. If they're behind the chains, Jalen Hurts is going to have to just, I don't know, man, find it. I've seen it before. We've seen him throw for 300-plus yards in a Super Bowl. Kellen Moore's going to call some passing game, I think, if this run game gets shut out. He loves to call passes. It's in his nature. He kind of hates that he has to run it every freaking play. Now, on the flip side, Eagles defense is better. They're healthier. We got injury on the offensive line for Washington. Their right guard's out, tore his ACL against Detroit. And we saw big bad Jalen Carter just absolutely feasting against LA. He was a game wrecker in the middle, and I think that's going to slow down this Commanders offense some more. I think we're going to get a low-scoring game. I think this game is going to be a little bit uglier than most people are expecting. Everyone's looking for the big home run plays of this Commanders offense. They really haven't quite been that outdoors in colder weather. And this Eagles offense, I don't think is going to be able to run the ball quite as effectively as they want to against Washington. Whatever Washington did those last 3 quarters, I think kind of solved it especially with Hurts banged up. Now, I do expect Jalen Hurts to play. Jalen Hurts is going to play in this game. I feel like it might be bad if Jalen Hurts gets hurt and they throw out there Kenny Pickett, because Kenny Pickett will throw 5-yard dink and dunks all day. Like he will carve you up with Devonta Smith and A.J. Brown and Dallas Goedert. So that would be a huge edge, I think, for Philly. Sour Haze, appreciate the sent flour for 30 jewels. Appreciate that. Those the vertical live stream little gifts you can give now. Pretty cool stuff. So ultimately, I think this is going to be kind of an ugly game. I really do like Washington +6 in this one. I don't think they're going to be too overwhelmed by the moment. They just kind of got that F it attitude right now. Like, just, fuck it. We don't care. We ball. We ball. We're just going to ride Jaden. Jaden doesn't care. Nothing bothers him. Puts it all in God's hands, and, like, he truly plays like it. It's like, whatever, man. Whatever happens, happens. So I think that is a big edge, and that's a real thing for Washington. And I don't know if Jalen Hurts hates to lose. Jalen Hurts kind of, like, I don't know, man. He's kind of just out there. He's quiet. He's chilling. Like, I don't know. Never too high, never too low, what you like. But I don't know if he cares. I don't know if he cares. I think Jaden Daniels cares, and he's always got a smile on his face. But that being said, Eagles have a better team than the Lions. The Eagles win this game. I don't know if the Eagles do have a better team than the Lions. They definitely have a better defense, but I don't think they have a better offense than the Lions do. Offensive lines are a push. Jared Goff's better than an injured Jalen Hurts. I don't think that's even a question. Saquon slightly better than Jahmyr Gibbs. Slightly. I mean, he's definitely better. And then the receiving core, a push. Amon-Ra's the best out of any of the receivers. A.J. Brown second. Devonta Smith slightly is third. And then Jameson Williams. And Laporta's definitely better than Goddard. So I would say the Lions offense is better than that Eagles offense is. But being outside, it is an advantage for the Eagles. How does Washington stop Saquon? The only way I can see is if Jalen has a quiet game, which could happen depending on his health. Jalen always has a quiet game. Jalen's passing yards in his wins are like under 160 yards. Like I said, Washington did a good job stopping Saquon in that second game. Saquon ran for 102 yards in the first quarter, I think. And then he did 48 the rest of the way, finished with 150. So they really did stop him with Kenny Pickett in the game. And you could say it's Kenny Pickett, they don't respect him. Well, a banged up Jalen Hurts is kind of like Kenny Pickett, man. I don't think there's much difference there. So if they're just going to sell out and stop, I would force Jalen Hurts to have to get out of the pocket, beat me with his arm, or on quarterback runs. Like, I would force Jalen Hurts to have to make all these plays. I am just going to commit to stopping the run game and Saquon and see how healthy Jalen Hurts actually is and how good he can throw this football. OTE Damien, what is up? Breaking down this NFC Championship game. So I like the Commanders +6 here. I like them under a touchdown. But that being said, I think the Eagles are going to find a way to squeak this game out. I think being at home is kind of a big edge here. Every game is bigger and bigger. I don't think it's going to affect Washington, but the Philly crowd is just a little bit different, a little bit extra, especially on a day like it's going to be. Would I be shocked if Washington is in a one-score game and they got the ball late and they go down the field and score unlike the Rams? Absolutely not. That would be my biggest concern if I'm an Eagles fan. If I'm an Eagles fan, we've seen them kind of get in these weird offensive play calling ruts, this lackadaisical approach where they just can't do shit, man. They just don't do anything. They call weird, like, let's boot to the left with our quarterback who's got a bummy knee. Let's stop running Saquon. Let's call these kind of weird gadget pass plays. And then they allow teams to just kind of hang around, and then boom, it's over. Come back. 2 scores, GG's, your season is over. So that would be my biggest concern if I'm an Eagles fan, because we almost saw them do it against LA. Like, if that game isn't a blizzard down at the end, I think Stafford finds a way to get into the end zone and beats the Eagles there. So I think the Philadelphia Eagles will find a way to win this game. So I'm taking the Eagles. I like the Washington with the points, but I do think the Eagles get a win here. They've been the better team all season long. Washington can't stop the run. Lions just stop using Gig, who's their best player. They stopped Barkley in that second game. Again, 48 yards in the last 3 quarters of the game. He had a huge first quarter, and then they shut him down. So they found something. I'm going to lean on that a little bit. Boy Person with the sub, appreciate that. He also says, gig 'em Aggies. Huge win for the boys this week, tonight with the Ags. Ario, so sup, which quarterback can beat Mahomes? Allen had 2 to 3 chances. Chiefs 3-peat, SMH. Yeah, I mean, Allen can beat Mahomes. He beat him in the regular season. He hasn't beat him in the playoffs. But I think this Bills team might be a little bit better than the Chiefs team overall. And if Josh Allen is playing like Josh Allen's played this season, where he's making those big plays, but he's not taking unnecessary risks, he's not turning the football over, I think Josh Allen is a guy who can do it. Obviously, Joe Burrow's done it, but Burrow's been out of the playoffs 2 out of the last 3 years, so that doesn't help him at all. Washington. So I do think Allen can be that guy to beat Mahomes, but yeah, we have to see it, right? We're always talking about, yeah, we have to see it. Like, anybody could beat Mahomes and the Chiefs. It is just different. I don't love that the game is in Kansas City. That is a big edge. And apparently, is it Clay Martin's officiating? So I think they were like undefeated when Clay Martin's officiated the Chiefs or something like that. Or did he officiate last weekend? I can't remember. Is it Clay Martin? Might be Clete Blakeman. One of those officials. They got a great record when they call the Chiefs. So the Chiefs are in good shape for them this weekend. All right, so final pick for this one. I like Washington plus the 6, but I like the Eagles to squeak out a win and head to the Super Bowl. Unfortunately for us, because I'm rooting for Washington. I think it's a fun story. I think it's great, and everyone kind of hates the Eagles. Everyone's sick of the Eagles. The Eagles beat the Rams in LA in a dome last 3 times. Snow hurt the Eagles more than the Rams. The snow absolutely did not. That was not the same Rams team that played this one. The snow absolutely hurt the Rams more than the Eagles. Matt Stafford was 26 of 44. When's the last time Matt Stafford's been that? Like, you just watch it. There was way more drops by the Rams, way more missed throws. That's just not true. That is not a true statement whatsoever that the snow hurt the Eagles more on offense. No way. That's crazy talk. Yep. Gray says, Commanders already know what to do when Saquon runs. Well, they've seen him twice. It definitely helps. It definitely helps to see him twice. Whoop. Let's get to our second game now. So I like Washington to cover the spread and the Eagles to pick up the dub. Why are we got tweets going out right here? I don't need no live analysis over here. You're killing me. I need to look at spread. Can I show less? Oh my God. No, I don't want to show more. Can I show less? Damn you, PFF. Damn you. Let's see if I can do this. Hold on. Oh, damn. I want to get over to this, but I also like all the other numbers here. All right, so let me wrap up the chat real quick. Do you like the Eagles? I do not like the Eagles. I'm a Vikings fan. I'm contractually obligated to root against the Eagles. All right, so let's head to our AFC Championship game. This is the one that everyone wants. Big Bro says, fly, Eagles, fly. This is the game everybody wanted. Like, deep down in your hearts, like, everybody, say what you want about the Chiefs. We want the Chiefs to lose. You didn't want the Texans in the AFC Championship game. You didn't want that. You wanted the Chiefs to take on the Ravens or the Bills. And I feel like a lot more people wanted the Bills than the Ravens. We got the Ravens last year in the AFC title game in Baltimore, and they just shit their pants. So I think everybody deep down, if you're not a fan of any of those teams, Bills, Chiefs, this is the AFC game we wanted. It's been the 2 best teams in the AFC all year, duking it out. This is what we live for. Let's see. I mean, the Commanders only won when Hurts got injured. Yeah, but Kenny Pickett wasn't that bad. It was the defense. The offense wasn't why they lost. They scored 33 points. Can either of the NFC teams beat the AFC? I think the Eagles could. I don't think the Commanders could beat either of these teams. I don't think the Commanders can win. And I appreciate the sub, Fabio. Appreciate the sub. Ario says 31-28 Chiefs. He's loving close games this weekend. So line's 1.5. That feels 100% right in this matchup. The AFC owns the NFC. I mean, the Chiefs kind of just own everybody. I think they're just I think that skews it a little bit. The NFC, the Rams did win. The last time the Chiefs didn't win the Super Bowl, the NFC team won. So Chiefs doing a little bit of skewing over here. And then obviously the Patriot. A.J. Brown dropped a touchdown. That seems to be what A.J. Brown does. He dropped one against LA too. Yeah, he got out of bounds. Eagles crushed 3 teams in the championship games in Phillies. You remember Foles, right? Lol. Yeah, I've also seen them get blown out by the Buccaneers and the Panthers in the NFC championship game. What? Like, those also happened. You can't bring up 3 championship games, the last 3 championship games with completely different rosters and quarterbacks, and then not bring up the ones before that too. What happened to the Lions in the division? You know, the Lions, they played bad. Jared Goff, not that guy. Defense is banged up, got carved up, played a good offense. Jared Goff's not that guy. I don't know why the Eagles didn't start the 3rd-string quarterback. That dude's a beast. He showed it in the Giants game, although it was the Giants game. Yes, Tanner McKee cooking. Juju says 38-28 Commanders. Ooh, that's an aggressive commie score. The Commanders scored 38 on the Eagles defense. That's crazy. Mark Andrews' fault or Lamar's? Why not both? Lamar had 2 horrendous turnovers in the first half. The interception was garbage. The fumble was just like, what are you doing, my guy? And Mark Andrews fumbled the football and dropped the tying 2-point conversion. So why not both? They also didn't run the ball a lot in the first half. I don't know what they were doing. We could get everybody. Baltimore Harbaugh should be on, I think, the warm seat in Baltimore. Like, he's not been good in these playoff games. They just get away from what they're doing. It's kind of confusing. Mr. Mac, I appreciate the sub. And anybody who subbed and I didn't shout you out, I can only see who has public subs on. So if you subbed and you want a shout out, just type it down in the chat and I will gladly give you a shout out. And if not, don't worry. I greatly appreciate everybody who hit that like button and is subbed to the channel. Braden, 35-21 Eagles. All right, we got our first Eagles call out right there, score-wise. I think it'll be a little closer. I like 35-28, 34-28. That kind of feels about right for me. Really, the Commanders, they didn't work with RG3. RG3 blew out his knee guy. Okay, last 2 championship games. 49ers and your sorry Vikings, Eagles crushed them. I mean, Case Keenum and then Brock Purdy blew out his elbow on the first drive of the game. And Jimmy Garoppolo was the 3rd-string quarterback. Jaden Daniels is the best quarterback they would have faced, man. Eagle fans just live in delusional land. Gray's Island subbed, so I appreciate that, Grays. Like, what? You beat a Niners team who didn't have a quarterback? That's crazy. Who would have guessed? I don't know. Jaden Daniels has proven that he is that guy who he will adjust, and Jalen got hurt last game. He won't play that good. True, I just don't know. You know, we've seen Jaden not have crazy big games before. I don't think Jaden's going to play bad. I just don't know how good you're going to play. Like, the Eagles just aren't going to give you a whole lot. RG3 would have been a Hall of Famer if he didn't blow his knee out. That was so sad. I don't know about that. I don't know about all that. RG3 had some other stuff going on there, but he was definitely pretty good for that 1 year or so. It was 1 year. It is Washington, guys. They would have blown it. Saquon will break the single-season record, rushing and postseason, and our defense is number 1. Yeah, I don't look at yards when I look at number 1 defenses. They're up there in scoring, but gave up the scores last week, almost gave up another one. And then obviously Green Bay is trash. So gave up 36 against the Commanders. Only had the 1 turnover, and that was early. You think Jaden Daniels is the best rookie quarterback in NFL history? Yes. I don't think it's really close anymore. If we're talking about rookie quarterbacks, so only 5 rookie quarterbacks have made it to the conference championship game. And if you look at their combined ratings of special teams and defenses, the other four, none of their combined rating of their special teams and defenses were outside the top 5. They were all like number 1, number 3, number 4, number 5. It was Joe Flacco, Brock Purdy, Ben Roethlisberger, and who is the fourth one I am missing? Mark Sanchez. So Jayden Daniels' combined quarterback or defense special teams rating is 26th. 26th. He's tied for the most wins in a season by a rookie quarterback. He's tied Big Ben with 14, and he's been doing it without really much help on defense or special teams, especially since Seibert went down. So this is definitely the best rookie season we've seen out of a quarterback. CJ Stroud is up there. Herbert in 2020, all great seasons on top of it. The 49ers had a quarterback in the beginning of the game. It was literally the first drive of the game. First drive of the game, dude. Brock Purdy blew the first drive of the game. It was the first third down. He got his elbow blown out. Again, you don't even know your own team games or history. Bills are winning. It's Allen time. I think I'm feeling a little good about Josh. He's been playing great. What do you think the Vikings are going to do with Sam Darnold? I hope to God we transition tag him and trade him for something. He better not be on the team next year as the quarterback. How do you think the Commanders' defense will fare against the Eagles' offense? I think they have a decent shot. They can shut down. If they can shut down Saquon, which it looked like they did in the last 3 weeks of the last 3 quarters of that last game, I think they have a good shot. Jalen Hurts, let's see how injured he really is. Make him have to throw the ball. Make him have to run out of the pocket. Let's see. I want to test that knee out as much as possible out there. So, yeah, I think there's definitely a path to victory for the Commanders. But I think ultimately the Eagles just being at home, slightly better team across the board, especially on the defensive side, is enough. Is going to be enough for them. So what are we looking at the bet here? It should be +2. PFF really likes the Chiefs in this one. Thinks it's over a half a point bad. So -6.7. You're not getting any value betting on the Bills. Values on the Chiefs right now, 72% of the money on the Buffalo Bills and 71% of the bets. I don't know if these are like sharps betting right here or if this is just straight up like public hates Taylor Swift, hates the Kansas City Chiefs. They hate everything about this team. They're just sick of them. They don't have any good, bad villain aura. I mean, if you guys didn't see that tweet that went viral this week where it was like, at least with the Patriots dynasty, it felt like Darth Vader in the Imperial March every time you played them and you were going up against them. This Chiefs team is just kind of, I don't know. They're the bad guys, but they don't even feel like good bad guys anymore. But they aren't like likable or lovable. Especially with what Mahomes has turned into with his flopping and the nonsense and all that garbage as well. That like Mahomes is so much better than that, man. That flop on the sidelines really, really pissed me off. And it pissed off the Chiefs fans, I know. They're like, dude, he's so much better than that. You can't just be baited into a late hit like that. We hate Taylor Swift and the Chiefs' puffy coats. Hey, that was not the Chiefs' fault with the puffy coats with Travis Kelce. The NFL Network handed those out, or Netflix handed those out. So those were Christmas Day Netflix. All you loser teams just hate the Eagles. Eagles will win the game. Fly, Eagles flies. I mean, come on. Like, the Eagles' first Super Bowl was 7 years ago. Like, this is a relatively new phenomena. They made the other Super Bowl, and they pissed down their pants in that game. Let's chill. Like, what happened last year? One of the biggest collapses in NFL history. Chill. Mahomes is a stud, but all those Glazers and casuals make him look bad. I mean, he's the best quarterback in the NFL. That's clear. I mean, Mahomes is the best quarterback in the NFL. Maybe he's not playing the best right now, but he's got the rings. And he's got the best plays in the biggest moments. So, I don't know. Like, I have people commenting, like, people are glazing Jayden Daniels. Like, Jayden Daniels might actually be, like, the best quarterback in the NFC right now. Like, he might be the best quarterback in the NFC. Maybe Stafford, but Stafford's 37, 36, turning 37. So the only knock on Jayden Daniels is you say he's a rookie quarterback, but he's 25 years old. He's not that young. He's, so I think people saying you glaze Jayden Daniels is crazy too. So what's your favorite team? The Vikings. Unfortunately, I'm a Minnesota Vikings fan. When did the Vikings win a Super Bowl? Never. Yeah, but I don't tag. That's the problem with the Eagles fans. We don't talk. Nobody else talks like them. You know who started talking reckless like Eagles fans? Is the Detroit Lions this year. And it blew up in their face. Like, they talk so reckless, the Eagles. They've played absolutely nobody again. One of the softest runs of the Super Bowl on top of it. They really don't have much of a chance against an AFC team either. Like, this is the problem. Eagles fans don't get this. They think everyone's jealous of them. No, it's because their fans act reckless. You got fans getting banned for life and fired from their job for being a dick to Packers fans who are like one of the worst fan bases also. Like, it takes a real special group of people to get, to make everybody feel compassion for fucking Packers fans. Like, holy shit. Eagles are a good team, but there's something happening there. Anybody see a player reading a book on the bench? Yeah, A.J. Brown. And then A.J. Brown catches one pass in the game. It's like, what the fuck is he doing? I will never understand the passing game in the Eagles. Like, it's so garbage. They have two very good receivers. It's so bad. Raiders fans act reckless too, but I feel like that's just like reckless in life. I don't know if they talk shit that the Raiders are good. I think they're just like a reckless group of people. Don't pay Darnold. Agreed. Shut up, you stupid. Got me. Jayden Daniels the best. You forgot about the legendary Trey Lance. Yes, the legendary Trey Lance of the NFC. A.J. Brown is just having a good time. Winning is winning. A.J. Brown is not having a good time. He looks pissed off all the time. There was a huge blow up, remember, literally this season, there was a blow up that he wasn't getting the ball. The Eagles aren't the Lions are the Vikings, daddy. The Lions have won 2 divisions in my entire life. I've seen my team win, I don't even know, 5, 6, 7, 8. They're not. Torque with the sub, appreciate that. Hurts can't read a defense. Feels like, man, he has just completely regressed from where he was in that Super Bowl. If you go back to 2020 and that Super Bowl against the Chiefs, I feel like everybody was like, oh yeah, Hurts is about to step into that top 5 quarterback era. He was about to have his moment. Like, oh, this guy's developing to be on par with Lamar and Burrow and Allen and Chase and Mahomes. And he just hasn't been that. He's just been mediocre and meh. Eagles are 4-0 and Jalen has never passed over 200 yards in a playoff win, and I think he averages like 160 yards. He's just kind of there. Jalen Hurts is just there vibing. So they're carried by their Saquon Barkley and their defense. Believe me, we know something is wrong with our passing game. Yeah, Mike, like I don't think anybody who says the Eagles passing game is fine and good is like, those 2 receivers should be putting up production similar to what we see out of Detroit and Minnesota from their receivers. Like, even with the Saquon stuff, you don't even have to run Saquon as much, but they have to run Saquon because they can't pick up first downs. Yeah, but now the Eagles are in the playoffs. Yeah, the Eagles are in the playoffs. Seeding helps. Getting the 2 seed with the 3rd best record in the conference helps. Yeah, that stuff matters. They would have had to play Washington in the first game. All right, enough about the Eagles and the Commanders. Let's talk about the Bills and the Chiefs, boys. This is the game everybody wants to watch and cares about. So I think the PFF thinks the value's on the Chiefs and all the money and bets are on the Bills. I don't know if this is a hate bet or whatnot. I really like the way the Bills are playing right now. I really like the way Josh Allen is playing. I kind of went back and watched the Bills-Ravens game, and the perception was like, the Ravens, man, they turned the ball over. They dropped the 2-point conversion. They had this game. Honestly, the Bills were really comfortable in the first half. Like, everything felt difficult for the Ravens. They couldn't really do anything on offense. The defense was doing all right, but still not great. It just felt like the Bills were so much more comfortable against the Ravens. And then I cannot understand what happened in the third quarter. The first two drive, like the Bills' first two drives in the third quarter are just like, should be studied how bad they are. Like, I don't know what the play calling was. I don't know what their approach was. Like, they were approaching this third quarter like there was 4 minutes left in the game and they had a 10-point lead. I didn't get it. They didn't really run the ball. They didn't really throw the ball either. Like, it was just bizarre. And the defense finally broke. The defense came out and sat in nickel in the whole first half, and that's why the Ravens trying to throw the ball really couldn't do anything. But they stayed in that nickel formation in the second half, and that's when Henry took off. They just pounded Henry, run, touchdown. For some reason, they didn't run him again for the 2-point conversion, which is just bananas. So Buffalo's defense kind of folded there. They did pick up a couple injuries in the secondary, which has me concerned. I do like that Damar Hamlin has no fear with his Guardian cap on, just throwing his head at Derrick Henry there. He will die on the field if he wants to. So I think overall as a team, Buffalo's playing good. Kansas City didn't love what I saw against Houston. Felt like Houston was the better team on offense and defense, but obviously the special teams just completely imploded for Houston. Kansas City's offensive line showing some real flaws now. Buffalo's pass rush ain't kind of like that. They're going to have to blitz to get pressure. And the Chiefs, Mahomes, quick routes, quick reads, a lot better for them. Didn't see much of DeAndre Hopkins or Hollywood Brown. Hollywood Brown dropped that big deep one. It was pretty much all Xavier Worthy, and Xavier Worthy's done a lot better job developing his route tree this season. I think a real key in this game is, can Kansas City run the football? Buffalo's run defense is not very good this year, but Kansas City's run offense has been atrocious. Even with Isaiah Pacheco back in there, Kareem Hunt's clearly been the better guy. They just can't get anything going, man. They can't get the chains moved. They can't establish 4-yard run, 6-yard run, 7-yard run, 15-yard run. They just can't. It's weird. Everything is like negative play, 1 yard, negative run. It's just not right. So if Kansas City can exploit that hole in the Bills defense, I think there's a real opportunity for the Chiefs to score in this game. Bills probably aren't going to be able to run, but they did find some success against Denver's elite run defense with that extra offensive lineman. And it was okay against Baltimore, another good run defense. So if they can get a running game going against Kansas City, there's definitely holes in the secondary for them to exploit. And if the Bills can get this game to be like 34-31, I think the Chiefs are going to have a really hard time keeping pace and scoring points. Now, don't discount Mahomes pulling a rabbit out of his hat. Travis Kelce, they're going to break out every possible play that they've been saving for this game. Crazy, maybe we'll see like a weird trick play to Xavier Worthy, some great route combos out there to get guys wide open. They're going to throw the kitchen sink out there because the Chiefs, I think, have to score 31 points to win this game. Their defense is going to be able to slow Buffalo a little bit, but I don't think it's enough. If this game is in the 27-28 range, the Chiefs have a shot, good, like an okay shot. If this game's in the 24-21 range, I love the Chiefs in this game. But anything over 30, I have to go with Josh Allen and the Bills. I just don't see a way around it. The Chiefs offense has been just kind of gross this year. I don't think they've scored, they've scored 30 once this year? Only scored 30 once this year, I think. Let me double check this. Yeah, 30 against the Bucks. That game was in overtime, so never in regulation. Panthers, only game in 30 in regulation, and then 29 against the Steelers, 27 against the Texans, where they were feeling better. So only one game over 30 in regulation this year. They've been floating in that 26 to 27, 28 point range against good teams. I'm not going to look at the Denver game. That doesn't matter. But look at Buffalo. Only 21, 30 points for the Bills. Not enough. Buccaneers scored 24 in regulation, forced it to overtime. Raiders were, wait, that was the second Raiders game. Never mind, that was the second Raiders game they were driving. Carolina scored 27 points. Houston got 19 points, and their special teams imploded on them. Just a disaster. So I think that's the right number there. The Bills defense has been up and down. They were really good in the early parts of the season. After week 4, when they got those guys back from injury, they were really solid. They've kind of leaked a little bit down the stretch, but they've been good enough, man. They've been good enough. Shut down the Broncos offense after the first drive. I know the Broncos offense is like, okay, it's the Broncos. I get it, but this is a tough matchup. Yeah, the Chiefs have been winning close games all year. I don't dock the Chiefs for that. That is a skill. It's not all luck. It is a skill to win these close games. You got to have the belief in them. I do worry that like maybe the mental edge is just so big on everybody with Mahomes. Like they know Mahomes is going to come back. Mahomes is going to come back and beat them. That could weigh heavy on them. We've seen teams implode like that. The Claw, appreciate the sub. If I haven't shouted you out and you need, and you subbed, just drop it in the chat and I'll shout you out. Let me hop in. Let me finish this pick right here and then I'll, catch up on the chat. So with that being said, I like the Bills straight up in this game. I like the Bills to take this one, finally get over the hump, finally get past Mahomes in the postseason. Never beaten him in the postseason, and that's what matters. So I like the Bills this weekend. I really do. It's not a hate bet thing. I don't have a problem with the Chiefs. Obviously, I'm not going to be surprised if Kansas City wins this game. I just think Buffalo's playing better and maybe finally has the better team this year. Overall, last year, you could have said potentially that. This Chiefs team, I don't think is quite as good as last year's team. Especially, the defense has been leaking a lot lately. The defensive secondary has been bad. They have Trent McDuffie, who's an elite corner, but the rest of the pass defense has been bad, man. Sometimes the Chiefs secondary looks like, I could be out there playing for them. It's crazy out there. So, I like the Bills. I like the Bills in this one. Let me catch up on the chat. Eagles front office knew Hurts wasn't good. That's why they signed Barkley. Cooper better show up. Yeah, Cooper DeJean, the exciting whites. Go Birds. I was talking about A.J. Brown. He doesn't care now that they are in the playoffs. He just wants his ring. I say that, but he still doesn't feel happy. Eagles are just the best team. Vikings suck. Yeah, false. The Kansas City Chiefs. What? Mahomes turned into a check down QB. Majority of his passing, he throw barely reached the line of scrimmage. True, but he was like that last year, Mike. Mahomes was like that last year. No gain on 1st and 10, and that's what happened. Yup. We're about to witness how a running back and pushing Hurts' ass is going to take the Eagles to the Super Bowl. Potentially. Don't sleep on a great defense, too. Like 20 more passing yards, and he is getting carried. It's time to pay the bills. Hit the like button. Yes, if you haven't already hit that like button, hit the like button. Also, fuck the Vikings. I bet for them to win. Yeah, I could have talked you off of that one, Braden. I would have, Rams a horrible matchup for Minnesota. Even for the Eagles got a taste of that Rams D-line. What they have, 7 sacks against the Eagles, 6 sacks against the Eagles, 8 against the Vikings, or 9 against the Vikings and 7 against the Eagles. That D-line is no joke in LA. Jared Verse is a dick, but Jared Verse is going to win Rookie of the Year on defense. KC's special teams helped them beat the Eagles in the Super Bowl 22. KC's special teams are really good. I love. And yeah, KC's good everywhere. KC's a well-coached football team. Are they paying at the Bills or the Chiefs? They are in Arrowhead, yes. Bills defense is trash. Bills defense is not trash. They've been actually kind of average this year. Barely winning. Listen, the Bills are winning this game. Don't worry, the MVP is about to go off 5 TDs. Yeah, unfortunately, it sounds like Lamar Jackson's going to win the MVP. The vote happened before the postseason. James Cook and Ray Davis need to run down the Chiefs front end. Yep, and don't forget Ty Johnson. Ty Johnson's been really good in the postseason for Buffalo. They have a 3-headed backfield going. It's been really, really good, man, for them. I don't know. I think the Chiefs got it. It's not going to surprise me if the Chiefs got it. Eagles beat the Ravens, Bills, Chiefs within the last 2 seasons. Yes. Okay. Different years, different teams. They also lost to the Buccaneers. They got blown out by the Buccaneers, who are just kind of an okay. They 8-win Buccaneers team beat them. Blew them out. Allen versus Mahomes, 4-4 lifetime. Yup, but over in the postseason. Forgot the part where they throw 1,000 flags and show Taylor Swift celebrating. There was only one bad call in that game. The second roughing on Mahomes where he kind of ran across the middle and fell down. That was the only bad call in that game. The first one I got, watching it live on stream here, we all kind of thought it was roughing watching it live, and only till the last replay view do you see that he probably just grazed the face mask and it probably shouldn't have been a flag, but that was about it. Corey, thanks for the sub. Appreciate that. Eagles Chiefs Super Bowl repeat. That I don't think, does anybody want that? No, the lowest percentage on our poll, 106 votes, 16% Eagles Chiefs repeat. Our favorite is the Commanders and the Bills. I feel like that's the matchup America wants. It's like Brady and Manning matchup. Peyton finally got over Tom, so Josh will finally get over Pat. Yep, and it only took an 18-point comeback at home to finally get over Tom, so hopefully that's a tough one for Josh Allen. If the refs stay out of it, Bills win. Potentially. 8 root beers for Austin. New York is almost out of root beers. Yeah, I really wish they would let them play more hard-nosed footballs. Refs treat them like girls. Sometimes they protect quarterbacks. Nobody wants to see, I mean, remember last year, guys, how many garbage quarterbacks there were? Because all the quarterbacks were hurt. Like, just crazy. Lamar's the MVP. He might, but he didn't deserve it. Joe Burrow should have won the MVP. He's got all the numbers. And if you're going to go, so if it's between Lamar and Allen, the wins have to mean something. 2 more wins. Lamar had a 1,900 yards rusher. Allen barely had 1,000 yards rusher. The big difference there. Bills are going to win by 2 scores or lose by 2 points. Oh, I don't know if we're ever going to see a blowout in a playoff game against the Chiefs. Chiefs are just too good. The Chiefs are never getting blown out. Eric Bieniemy versus Andy Reid Super Bowl incoming. Eric Bieniemy is not employed by anybody. Is he? He was just fired from UCLA this year. So I don't think he's not on Washington anymore. The first roughing call was soft, but it normally gets called. Yeah, I agree, Corey. Yeah, Lamar's not the MVP. I don't think so. It sounds like he's probably going to win. Bills versus Eagles. Simdog, love you, P. Simmy. See, guys, we love you. Yeah, give the MVP to a guy who doesn't make the playoffs. Wow. Yeah, he's not going to. But Joe Burrow had the absolute best season. He has better numbers than Allen. He has better numbers than Allen and Lamar in every category. His defense and special teams were that bad, guys. They were that bad. So if it's between Lamar and Allen, it's Allen. I don't think it's particularly close between Lamar and Allen, honestly. The 2 wins have to mean something. The supporting cast around him has to mean something. Yeah, Joe Burrow is highly underrated. I don't think Joe Burrow is underrated. I think there's a very clear-cut 4 best quarterbacks in the NFL. It's Mahomes, Allen, Burrow, Lamar in no particular order, and then it's everybody else. I don't think there's a wider gap we've ever had in the NFL between the top 4 and who the 5th quarterback is. Does anybody really know who the 5th best quarterback in the NFL is? There's 8 or 9 guys you could say you have an argument for. Preference. If you go by stats, it's Burrow. If you go by record and stats, it's Allen. Yup. Wow. Really, dang, when that happened. Last year, when they cleaned house in Washington, he was sent away. He got fired by UCLA this year. It's Cliff Kingsbury, the legend, calling plays for Jaden Daniels. I feel like that Saquon would win the MVP if he broke the record. Maybe. His season this year was not even quite as good. I mean, you literally have to have an Adrian Peterson type season. You have to carry a corpse of a football team to the playoffs if you're not a quarterback to win the MVP. He had less yards. His defense was so much better. His offensive line is top 2 in football. If you look at that Vikings team with Adrian Peterson carried to the playoffs and almost broke the record with, their offensive line was mediocre. They had Christian Ponder at quarterback. The defense wasn't very good. So you have to do something like that. You have to do something crazy if you're going to be a running back. I don't think a running back would have to shatter the rushing record in a 17-game season with a bad team, like a mediocre average team on top of it. I like Burrow, but he dresses like a slur word. He's got cool style. Probably Stafford for 5. Yeah, I think Stafford would probably, but he's 36 years old, turning 37. I totally get that. Stafford, some would say CJ Stroud, but he was kind of bad this year. People want to hype on the Jaden Daniels train. I don't know about that. Goff, but after the playoffs, no, I don't think anybody would say Goff. Nobody's going to say Hurts. Who are we looking at now? It's just kind of weird. Yeah, to make the playoff. Yeah, make the playoffs. Joe had games that he turned the ball over in crunch time. He is the MVP. He lost a game where he scored 30. Yeah, he didn't lose because of those turnovers. He scored 40 against the Ravens twice and lost both games in overtime because they missed a field goal. You need 2,000 plus 20 TVs as a running back. I feel like you need 2,120 plus TVs as a running back, Corey. Unless your team is really bad, 2,020 and like a bad team, like a wild card team. Frank with his always on time and always pertinent fly, Eagles fly. EAGLES, Eagles. See, unlike the mayor of Philadelphia, I can spell. JD is top 5 right now. I don't know if I could put Daniels at 5. He's playing that way for sure. Because we felt the same way about CJ Stroud last year and then the sophomore slump hit. So let's watch and see what Daniels does. But people would say Jordan Love, but Jordan Love terrible in the playoff games. I think there's definitely kind of this weird gap between top 4 and then everybody else in the top 12. And then it's kind of crap after that. You know, you go 5 through 12 and then it's kind of like, okay, can we win a Super Bowl with these guys? Maybe. Doubtful after the top 12. And I'm not even sure you can win. You know who's not? Sam Darnold. Definitely not. I don't even know if you can win at anybody like outside. Like, I don't know if you can win a Super Bowl with Jordan Love. I don't know if you can win a Super Bowl with, God, the way that you're currently playing with Dak. There you go. Don't know if you can win a Super Bowl with Dak. I don't know if you can win a Super Bowl with the way, you know, Hurts would be playing. Like Hurts is playing. If his team wasn't so much better than what people are rolling out there. Like we saw it with Goff. Like Goff had an elite team except for the defense was beat up and fell apart. Daniels, maybe. It's like, yeah, really like what I've seen from JD. Absolutely, me too. I think the sky's the limit. Will Levis, top 5. Yeah, Will Levis. I mean, JD could end this debate very quickly. I love everything I've seen from him so far. Especially his calm, cool, collected demeanor. Baker. What about Baker? Like people talk about Baker possibly as a top 5 quarterback. I don't know if you can win a Super Bowl with Baker. Mr. Mojo, I appreciate the sub out there. Probably get it against the Commanders game. 148, game 2, 150. Yep, but again, 102 of those were in the first quarter. So interesting to see. Yeah, I get frustrated with Hurts, to be honest. Yeah, I feel like most sane Eagle fans would agree that Hurts drives them kind of crazy. I like Jordan Love, but damn, get him an elite receiver and tight end and he'll be special. Although Green Bay's wide receiver is pretty damn nice. Nah, those receivers in Green Bay are trash, guys. They don't have one receiver. Those guys are super overrated. I like Tucker Kraft. I think we maybe overstated how good Jordan Love is. He still makes bad decisions with the football. Way too reckless. He's so reckless with the football. It's kind of crazy. Oh, Deshaun Watson is top 5 most dangerous guys when injured. Yeah, Deshaun Watson. Oh, what about Christian Watson? Christian Watson's not that kind of guy. Not that kind of guy at all. Baker beats Commanders if he didn't turn the ball over. Maybe. He also messed up those snap exchanges and the handoff on that drive when them went healthy. Jaden Reed kind of shit. Yeah, it feels like Green Bay's receivers are all a bunch of number 2 receivers. They have 3 top-tier number 2 receivers. None of them are a number 1. Like, not a single one of those guys would be a starting receiver on a good team. Like, this is great, guys. Like, our best receiver for Green Bay, whoever you want to say it is it Reed? Is it Christian Watson? Is it whoever you want to say it is? Let's just go down the list. Would they be a number 1 receiver on this team? We're just going to go down the NFL. Detroit, no. Kansas City, probably not. Rashee Rice, I think, would be better than them. Eagles, no. Vikings, no. The Bills, maybe. I kind of like Khalil Shakir a lot. Maybe the Bills. Baltimore, probably not. I think Zay Flowers is probably better than them. Washington, no. LA, potentially. Ladd McConkey puts up better numbers than all those goofballs. Potentially LA, obviously, on the Packers. Tampa, no. Rams, no. Texans, no. Steelers, maybe. Probably. Pickens is a little too crazy for me. Denver, no. Seattle, no. Cincy, absolutely not. Atlanta, no. Indianapolis, no. Miami, no. Arizona, maybe Arizona, but Marvin Harrison Jr. obviously has the potential. Dallas, no. Frisco, no. Jets, no. Bears, no. Panthers, yeah. Carolina, they'd be the best receiver on Carolina. We gotten all the way down to the Panthers, guys. Nobody on the Vikings starts on the Eagles offense. Maybe Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison would both start. Jordan Addison would definitely be the third receiver. Hawkinson at tight end, potentially. You want to say the offensive line? Yeah, maybe. Tackles are both pretty good on both teams. Pretty elite. Those are probably the 4 best tackles in football right there. New Orleans, no. Jacksonville, no. New England, yes. The Patriots are a firm yes. Vegas, yes. Cleveland, maybe. Jerry Jeudy? Tennessee, Calvin Ridley, potentially. Giants, no. So, the Packers are not, their receivers are not number 1 receivers, anywhere in this league. They need a number 1 wide receiver. Y'all complain about Hurts, but he's simply just not turning the ball over. Plus, what QB besides Lamar is rushing for 44-yard rushing touchdown while making the defense look silly? Josh Allen. There you go. Josh Allen, question answered. Jaden Daniels. You should run a tier list for all 32 starting quarterbacks. Yeah, that'll be something to do in the offseason, Sim. Will the Eagles win Sunday? Kyle. Yes, I think the Eagles barely win, and I appreciate the sub, Big Dog. I think it's a close game. I think the Eagles win. Malik Neighbors, yeah, Malik Neighbors better than everybody on Green Bay. Not even a question. Feel like Lamar did all his magic without a wide receiver 1. Bro's favorite targets are his tight ends and Rashad Bateman. Well, Zay Flowers was hurt. Zay Flowers did make the Pro Bowl. Poor man's Tyreek, yeah, kind of. George Pickens is the best wide receiver on Green Bay. On any given day, yes, but George Pickens could also not be the best wide receiver on Green Bay. And he's definitely would be the craziest, so he definitely has the best. He would definitely have the best hands of anybody on Green Bay. Those Packers receivers drop the ball as much as anybody. Christian Watson, Butterfingers. As you say, there's only about 4 elite QBs in the league when you think about it. Yeah, I don't think anybody's gonna disagree with that. It's 4 dudes and then everybody Else. Cooper DeJean, one of the exciting whites, gets his first pick on Sunday. I'm going to say doubtful. Jaden Daniels really doesn't turn the ball over, but he did have 2 interceptions against the Eagles the last time they played. His worst turnover game of the year. Hit the like, y'all. It helps a lot. Costs nothing. C-Guy has been the like guy. Love it. Eagles are the Commanders, Ryan. I'm going with the Eagles in a close game, but I like the Commanders plus 6 points. Kyle James with the sub. Appreciate that. And if I haven't shouted you out and you've subbed, appreciate you guys. If you want to shout out, drop it in the chat. I'll shout you out. Crazy how loaded Philly's wide receiver room is. Those Lambos are collecting dust as Saquon eats. Oh, yeah. I think AJ Brown's a little bit overrated in my book, and it sounds like he's getting traded to New England. AJ Brown's a little bit overrated in my book. I love Devonta Smith. I think Devonta Smith is super underrated there. Birds all day. Whoa, yes, the GOAT is live. The GOAT is alive. Jaden Daniels getting another Hail Mary. Whoa, Ryan likes a Hail Mary dub. Well, if the Commanders win on a Hail Mary against the Eagles, I will stream post-game with my Washington Redskins shirt. I will rock my Washington Redskins shirt and my Cleveland Indians hat with Chief Wahoo if the Commanders win on a Hail Mary on Sunday. So book it here. Simi loves Vrabel to New England. Yeah, I think everybody, if you like good football coaches, you love Vrabel in New England. What's the AFC pick? Is the Buffalo sauce still pouring? Yes. My picks are Eagles in a close one over the Commanders, and I'm taking the Buffalo Bills. Give me the Bills to pick up that dub finally in Kansas City. Gig 'em hat, yup. Big win tonight for the Ags. Down 2 with a 3 with 12 seconds left on the road at Ole Miss. Chiefs games are rigged. We'll see. I don't like to think like that. Yes, that's the Super Bowl matchup I want. Eagles Bills. Yeah, that's the least one. Eagles Chiefs is the least one. Eagles Bills is our second one. I think that'll probably be the best game. If we get Eagles Bills, that'll be the best football game. Commanders Bills is by far the most fun game. Like, that is out of this world fun football game. So, and that's currently leading the poll with 137 votes. We like that one. Why are you jinxing Cam Ward to the Titans? It's looking like they're taking interest in him, LOL. I heard today that they said they're not going to pass up a generational talent in Tennessee. And Cam Ward is not the generational talent. The generational talent is Travis Hunter. So that kind of got my ears percolating a little bit in Tennessee. I want Bills revenge. Would love to see Josh get his day in the sun. Yeah, I think everybody, Bills 0-4 in Super Bowls, join the biggest losers with the Vikings. They lost the 4 straight. Josh Allen gets a Super Bowl. I think everybody be pumped for that. Eagles extended his contract for 4 years, and he said in interviews that he wants to hang up his cleats in New England. The fact that people think he's getting traded, you're crazy. Yeah, he wants to hang up his cleats in New England. He wants to retire a Patriot. Mike Vrabel never wanted to trade A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown loves Mike Vrabel. And contract extensions really don't mean shit anymore. Trades are trades. If a guy wants out, he gets out. It's that simple. NFL's turned a little bit into the NBA. Gators got a buzzer beater win versus SC today. Won't back down. That's a nice win. The Gators have a very good hoops team. They're in the top 10. Jaden wins the Super Bowl in his rookie year. That would be a story, Ryan. That would be a story. How do you feel about Aaron Glenn to the Jets? Jets. I think that's a good hire for the Jets. I think Aaron Glenn's going to be an adult. They need an adult in the room. And it seemed like they were going to go with a defensive guy. So keep the defensive culture going. Figure out the offense. I like Aaron Glenn. I'm not going to blame him completely for that defense getting cooked up on Saturday against Washington. They were really outnumbered there. So I like it. I like the hire a lot. And it also means Brian Flores probably staying in Minnesota, which I love to see. Yeah. Any QB to Las Vegas is going to be good. Like, any quarterback is better than what they have, but I don't hate Aiden O'Connell. I think Aiden O'Connell is going to be a great backup in this league. He's a guy you can start like a spot start and get a win with. No problem. Yeah, Braden shit, my bad. Not saying him getting traded to New England. Sorry. Dyslexic. No, it's good. He wants to hang up with the Eagles. Yeah, I gotcha. Pray every night that Justin stays home and leads us up the stairway to 7. Steelers need a quarterback, guys. Steelers need a quarterback. It's not Fields. It's not. Maybe Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold's a good quarterback for the Steelers. SC should have sunk that 3. He should have been more zen. Is Trav Hunter a better wide receiver or corner? Will he go both ways in the NFL? I don't know. I don't think he's going to go both ways in the league. Maybe some snaps, like you could throw him in there in a nickel package. As that third DB out there. I think he's a better wide receiver. When I watch him play, I think he's a better wide receiver. He has elite ball skills. He has really good hands. He's a pretty good corner, but I think he's going to struggle in the NFL against elite wide receivers and route runners. As a wide receiver, he just gets open, man. You can do so much with him as an offensive player. Put him in the backfield, put him in motion, just get him the football in space, and he's going to have a really good time. So I like Travis Hunter as a wide receiver. He's going to be a different kind of wide receiver. A little bit more of that slot build. Maybe we're going to see a season more like Ladd McConkey, where not those true routes, but a lot of inside slot work, cooks people running across the middle, takes it to the house. He still has really good jump ball skills, but he definitely intrigued me more as a wide receiver. Omre the Kid, appreciate the sub. You know what Jet stands for? Just ends the season. Oh, the goddamn Jets. Yeah, Flores staying in mini would be a miracle. It's not official. The Jags one's still open, the last one. But he wasn't invited for a second round of interviews. It sounds like Robert Saleh is going to get that job. So everybody staying in Minnesota would be hyped. Which QBs are going to go first? You really think Shador is going to be in the top 5? Yeah, I think so. I think the Giants are going to be forced to take Shador. Maybe Cleveland takes him, but I think 2 quarterbacks in the first round and then a lot of shit. O'Connell equals Mason Rudolph. I think he's a slightly better Mason Rudolph. I think O'Connell's a slightly better Mason Rudolph. Steelers can win with Russ. They need a better O-line and established wide receiver. They need 2 better wide receivers, and they need a much better offensive line to help in the run game. But is Russ going to win you a Super Bowl? That's like, not at this, I don't know about this point in his career. He throws a great deep ball. But is he better than, we're saying, like, can Goff win you a Super Bowl? Probably not. He can get you there, maybe. He's like Alex Smith. But I don't think he's winning you a Super Bowl, and that Russ at this point in his career is not winning you a Super Bowl. I think Fields could be a good QB if he gets in the right situation. Fields just relies so much on his running, and he just gets hurt. I've seen so much of Fields playing in Chicago. I'm just not. He's not it for me. Actually, a semi-fan and stay super up to date with the Jets all my life. Lol, my childhood best friend is a Jets fan. Well, that is a loyal best friend as a Jets fan. In mock drafts, he's listed as a corner. Yeah. You can't list him as both. I wish they would list him as athlete. Just list him as an athlete. ATH. Like he's on NCAA. ATH for Hunter. 17 Melicor. Appreciate the sub. Who would be better for Pittsburgh than Justin Fields out of Fields, and don't say the Ghostbuster? Yeah, I think Sam Darnold will be better in Pittsburgh than Justin Fields. That's just me. Would you shotgun a brew with Van Ginkel? Absolutely. But Van Ginkel's not that kind of guy. He just has that look. He's like a really quiet family guy. Every time I hear him talk, he's really soft-spoken. He just plays like a crazy person with crazy hair. I love me Van Ginkel. I got actually a little Van Ginkel something cooking here for my background display. He was 4-2 as a starter for the Steelers. Yeah, true, Braden, but their defense was so good. Look how much better the offense was when Russ took over. They were scoring so many more points with Russ as compared to Fields. You think Will Howard's stock went up after winning the national championship? Yes, it's went up like 50 spots. I think prior to this, like we looked at this, I guess we're moving on over to the side. Okay, let's get Slim Boys. Let's get our Slim Boys here. So when we look at our quarterbacks here in the NFL draft, Will Howard's up to 98. But when you look at his draft trends, look at this huge jump. So 12-14, he was sitting at 140, 150, 164. After the Michigan game, he's like as low as he possibly could be down here after the Michigan game. But actually, let me zoom out a little bit, see this a little bit better. So you start to see this rise when the playoffs start. Has a great game against Tennessee. Keeps it rolling against Oregon. Beats up on Texas. This is the off week, 111. And then you get the game last night, roll it into his highest point as his round. So Will Howard's draft stock has went up overall. Let's move medium boy. Still a little big. But if you look at the quarterbacks, Cam Ward, Shador Sanders, look at their PFF ranks though. Cam Ward 17, Shador 43, not even a first round grade. Then you got Dylan Gabriel 69, nice. Jalen Milroe 70, then Will Howard, Riley Leonard stock went up. Quinn Ewers, I think Quinn Ewers has a chance to boost his stock a little bit. He's going to test really well, I bet. The injury stuff was a thing. I really like, if you're going to take a flyer on a quarterback this year, I'm really intrigued by Kyle McCord. Kyle McCord was pretty good at Ohio State. Wasn't great, but pretty good. And he was good this year at Syracuse. I like Kyle McCord this year. He's fallen a little bit, but I think if you're going to take a flyer on a guy, Kyle McCord, 4th, 5th round, maybe he's got a Dak kind of feel to him potentially. So I like Kyle McCord as my sleeper guy to go after. But the quarterback class is just kind of really bad. And the free agent quarterback class is bad. That's why Sam Darnold's probably going to get a mint if he hits the open market. That's why I hope we hit the transition tag with Darnold, $41 million, and we trade him. and we can get some picks back. Minnesota has no draft picks this year. So that's the move. We saw Nick Foles win a Super Bowl. Anyone who gets hot at the right time, aka playoffs, can win the Super Bowl. True, absolutely true. But Nick Foles was also had playoff experience. Before that, was on a super hot team. He played out of his mind on top of it. And the defense was playing really good until that Super Bowl. Yeah, we've never had a guy in his, we've only had the last guy to make and win a Super Bowl in his first postseason run was Tom Brady. So is Jaden Daniels Tom Brady? Maybe. But everybody else kind of gets stalled out in their first postseason run. ATH, where's Hunter going in fantasy? Intriguing but uncertain pick. Yeah, we're going to need some more clarity, and we'll get that clarity come August on what Hunter's offensive production is going to be. That happens when you ball out in the Natty. The weapons around him may be the best since 2019 LSU. Yeah, they're pretty good. Emeka Ibuka. I would say probably the Alabama team with Devonta Smith. Was that the Devonta Smith, Henry Ruggs team? And Jerry Jeudy? Was that those guys? That three-headed monster? Yeah, around there. Those guys are not as good. I don't think Emeka Ibuka is as good as Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson. Like, Emeka Ibuka is not going to be as good as those two. But Jeremiah Smith might be. Jeremiah Smith could be better than those two. Remember when Russ went to the Broncos? I mean, what the fuck was... Yeah. Shows you that, whatchamacallit's not that good of a coach. Overrated Sean Payton. Drake May or Bo Nix long-term? Drake May, not even a question. Drake May, not even a question. I love Drake May. He's younger. He's got way more upside. Think about for people who think TJ Watt is in the realm of defensive player of the year. He went 193 consecutive snaps without recording a stat. Yup. No defensive snaps, pressure, even tackles. Yep. I think DPOY is locked up. Who's winning DPOY? Action has it like pretty much locked up. Let me look at DPOI. NFL odds. Let's get futures odds. Yes, I know. So stupid. Oh my God. NFL futures odds. Alberta. Let me get give me New York. Defensive player of the year. Who's the Pat Surtain? There you go. That's who it was. Pat Surtain's a lock. Minus 500 to win defensive player of the year. Mr. Surtain. So that's going to be your guy. It's not going to be TJ Watt. Should always be Myles Garrett. He's the best. I'm not biased whatsoever. How the fuck does PFF have Lefty Gabriel higher than Jalen Milroe? Because I don't know. Jalen Milroe really not that good. Not that good of a passer, guys. I've seen Kyle McCord at Heinz Field. 4 picks, UDFA. That was his worst game. The game against Pitt. 4 picks. Weren't like 3 of them pick sixes. Kyle McCord steal of the draft. Real quiet and hardworking dude. Also ice cold. Yeah, he had his moments there. What pick does Minnesota has the 24th pick? Jackson Dart. Yeah, the talent's there. Jackson Dart is kind of between the ears. I don't think Jackson Dart's a guy. He folds in big spots. Number 1 player is Travis Hunter. Abdul Carter, number 2. Terriosha. I got to work on his pronunciation. Don't worry, I'll get that. Terriosha McMillan, number 3 or number 1 wide receiver, technically. Mason Graham. Great. That's going to be a great pick. He's a beast. Ashton Genty, Will Johnson. Malik Starks. Will Campbell, your number 1 offensive tackle. So, pretty decent, talented draft. Deep running back draft. Not as deep because both Penn State running backs went back. But pretty deep offensive draft. Good defensive tackle draft, too. Let's see. No, Big Ben's first postseason was not a Lombardi. That was his second postseason. They lost in the AFC Championship game his first postseason. Jahmyr Gibbs could quite literally be the number 1 pick in fantasy. It's probably going to be Saquon or Jamar Chase or Justin Jefferson. Jahmyr Gibbs definitely could be a top 5 pick, though. Maybe 4 right there, but I think it's going to be Barkley and the 2 receivers before Jahmyr Gibbs, Patrick Surtain. Zach Bond should be DOP, but he doesn't have the name of Fred Warner. Fred Warner's never won a DOP. Zach Bond has been great this year. You got to do a lot more to win DPOY in the NFL on defense. Let's see. Ernest Todd, appreciate the sub. Appreciate everybody who's dropped a sub and hit that like button. It's been a great stream so far. We're going to be wrapping up here in a little bit as we wind down. It's getting a little late. Plus, that's what we do. But don't worry, got a video to edit. We'll have a video breaking down both games a little bit more in depth tomorrow. Should be TJ. He gets double teamed every play. If you don't respect Watt's greatness, it's just BS. TJ's better than Garrett, but I highly respect Miles. Miles Garrett's better than TJ Watt. Miles Garrett gets as much double teams as TJ Watt does, and he gets held a hell of a lot more than TJ Watt. Zach Bond is having a season like Luke Kuechly when he won it many years ago. Is he though? He's kind of paired with Nakobe Dean. They're kind of splitting that right there in that Eagles second level. Is McMillan anything but a jump ball guy? Drake blended 2.0. Yeah, he's a jump ball merchant, McMillan. I agree. That's kind of his thing. Not a good route runner at all. James Pierce is being slept on. Top 10 player in his class. Zach Bum. Lol, he out of Philly after this season. Oh, aggressive. Who would you like to be a Viking with the 24th pick? So let me look. I mean, if Josh Simmons somehow fell to us at 24, I'd poop my pants. Put him at guard. We need a guard. Got to see what we do in free agency. Minnesota's got a ton of cap space and a ton of people to spend. But Benjamin Morrison, the DB from Notre Dame, he was hurt this year. If he slides, you're projecting him to slide. He'd be a really nice pickup. Any of the there's no good D tackles here. Let's see who. Omarion Hampton, do not take a running back in the first round. We don't need a DN like Nick Scorton. Armand Membu, I think he projects as a guard. Yeah, 6'3", 314. He projects as a guard. I got to do a little more reading on him, but not 2 bad years and then a great year this year against good. The SEC's got good D lines out there, but he wasn't good against A&M, wasn't good against Alabama, good against that South Carolina rush, which is really nice this year. So a guard, a D tackle, guard/center, D tackle, or a DB for the Vikings. Just depends what they do in free agency. Let's see. Bills or Chiefs? Bills. Garrett clocking Rudolph in the head with his helmet. Garrett clocking Rudolph in the head with a helmet. He must have said it. Like, Rudolph must have said something. Like, if you saw the video of Myles Garrett talking up that guy for the Ravens, their tackle, Myles Garrett's like the nicest human being in the world. And I've met Myles. I've had conversations with Michael. He's a super nice guy. So Mason Rudolph might have said it. Taking next year's, no, we need picks is the problem. We have no depth on this team. A lot of old guys. I see them trading back from 24 and picking up more picks. My boy Jason Marshall in the 5th round. Do we even have a 5th? Yeah, we have 2 5th round picks. Go after Skidaboo? Yeah, my man Cam Skadaboo. What's he, 46? This is a great running back draft. He doesn't fit our run scheme, though, Cam Skadaboo. He's good. He's going to be, like, on the Chargers. Cam Skadaboo Chargers, I'm calling it. Omarion Hampton is a dog, like, super slept on. Dylan Sampson, elite playmaker. Travion Henderson, obviously. Devin Neal might be the fastest running back in the class. Caleb Johnson's solid. Quinshon Judkins, we've seen him play big in big spots. RJ Harvey's lightning, too. This is just a super deep running back class. So I wouldn't reach on a running back here. Even Genty, I think, might slide because of how deep the running back class is. Rudolph said it. Yeah. Micah Parsons is the best. Do you agree? No. Micah Parsons is good. I've seen Micah Parsons get absolutely disappeared in postseason games. What time you on? We are on the Central Time, Mr. Mojo. So not too late, but getting there. Total solo assist, sack, different. That's a lot. Yards, interceptions. That's a lot there, Braden. Those are all the defensive stats. Aaron Jones has at least 2 more years left in the tank. Get him an O-line. I don't know if he does, man. He gets banged up too much. Banged up. Judkins is a top 4 RB in the class. I don't know about that. But I think he has a lot of upside. Judkins is crazy. Judkins is a psycho. Like, what did the tweet? Ohio State has like the 2 running backs. Like, Henderson's the preacher and Judkins is a guy that might go to jail. Like, you need both in your backfield. All jokes aside, what will you do at quarterback as Omar Khan? I don't know. This is such a bad. I don't know. What do we do at quarterback? Like, Hendo, Judkins, literally Monty Gibbs. For the college level, yeah, basically. Henny and Scattaboo RB 1A, 1B. Genty, yeah, I gotcha. Should have said Scattaboo. I think Omarion Hampton's a more complete running back than Scattaboo, if I'm being honest. Scattaboo's like a gamer. Like, I like Scattaboo a lot. I really do like Scattaboo a lot. But he's just like not that kind of running back. He's like Toby Gerhart a little bit. I think you draft a quarterback potentially and try and roll the dice if you're Pittsburgh, not high. And then you got to I think you re-sign Russ, or maybe if you can get Sam Darnold, re-sign him. I think you just roll with Russ if you're Pittsburgh. 151 total tackles, solo 93, assists 58, 3.5 sacks, 5 forced fumbles, 1 fumble return, 1 pick. Yeah, it's a good season. It's not Patrick Surtain season. Patrick Surtain literally just taking away half the field. It's hard for a DB to win it too. Usually it's a pass rusher with those stats. I was going to look up tackle leaders. See, it's Fields, mate. It's not Fields. Just draft a QB for the Steelers. These scouts have no idea how good these guys could be. You got to take a flyer. Why isn't Trevor Etienne not being mentioned? Stepa Cole? Because he's always banged up and he's got like weird off the field stuff too. He's on there. He's ranked 129. I mean, Travis Etienne, good run back. Morinaga's a good running back. I don't know anything about Yarns. Tootin's solid. I mean, even Ollie Gordon, who won the whatchamacallit last year. The running back award. I'm drawing a blank on the running back award name. And he had a really bad season. Woody Marks is solid. Like, this is a great running back draft class. Crazy good. And both guys from Penn State came back. Like, this running back class could have been like 8 rounds deep. Luke Kuechly won in 2013. His key stats for that season. Yeah, but it's a totally different era of football. Completely different era of football. 1 defensive touchdown, too. Yeah, just completely different era of football on top of it. You got to just have rival biased against him. No, I watched Justin Fields. He's nothing, man. Zach Bum gets carried by an insane DB and D-line room. The D-line definitely doesn't hurt, and the DBs are pretty good, too. Montrell Johnson, get out of there. Deuce. Woody is very similar to a James Cook type back. Yeah. So I like, if you got late round picks, you got a guy that could be a starter here. Like, there's a ton of guys that could come out and be a starting running back. And we always usually see a late round back become a starting running back. Wide receivers kind of lacking a little bit. Like McMillan, okay. I like Luther Burden. Mecca Ibuka's a solid number 2. Matthew Golden, solid number 2. Eric Alik Ayamanor, I can't pronounce his name. He's pretty good. He's a pretty good receiver. I think he's a slot. He's 6'2", 210. He's a big boy, too. Savion Williams, no. Xavier Restrepo, good slot guy. Not great. Who is Woody? Woody Marks from USC. I heard this running back room is going to be the best, potentially. Where's Lagway rank in the draft class as he was coming out? I mean, probably 3rd. Maybe 5th because people are scared of Florida quarterbacks with no experience. Tyler Warren to the Colts. Yeah, I could see something like that. All right. I think that's going to do it for us, guys. We've been live for over an hour and a half. So officially, my picks for this weekend are the Eagles to win, the Commanders to cover the +6, and then give me the Bills getting 1.5, and I like the Bills outright to take down the Chiefs. So give me Bills, Eagles, Super Bowl. Final results of our poll. What matchup do you guys think what matchup do you want? Everybody, 37% want the Commanders, Bills. I think that would be the most fun. Second, Eagles, Bills. I think that would be the best game. Commanders, Chiefs at 20, and nobody wants to see a rematch of Eagles, Chiefs. So I appreciate everybody stopping by. Thanks for tuning in tonight. We will be live again Sunday night after the conference championship games, breaking everything down for you guys. Maybe I'll go live Friday or Saturday, depending on how I'm feeling. We can do a short little stream, talk about some stuff, but we'll have a video dropping tomorrow, breaking down everything between the two teams. I got both games a little bit more in depth, but it's not the longest video in the world because there's only 2 games. So if you've seen my videos before, you know what to expect. Went a little bit more in there. Let me catch up real quick. Who's the best linebacker in the draft? The Bama guy? I do not know who the best linebacker in the draft is. No, it's the South Carolina, Demetrius Knight Jr. Not a good linebacker draft, but Jahad Campbell's second. Not a good linebacker draft. Bro, what? I know. It's like Steelers re-sign Warren. Genty fits with the Chargers, small RB like Austin Eckler. I don't think he's going to make it to the Chargers. Eagles not winning. No, Bills by $1 billion. Eagles def winning. Try my first live yesterday. Most I had was 7 viewers, 12 in my stream today, just the start. Keep at it, big dog. Got to find the right time for an audience. Clearly, you goofballs kind of like this little bit later, but not too late anymore. Stream for you guys. So appreciate everybody stopping by. If you haven't already, drop a quick like on the stream. Hit that subscribe button. We got daily sports content for you guys. Our sports stat fact of the day shorts, which dropped at 11, so it's out there right now. We got longer form videos, plus all our live streams. If you want to support the channel more, think about signing up for a channel membership. You get all sorts of access to cool and exclusive perks. You get a cool badge next to your name, plus you get access to my beautiful emojis that we need to add more of in there. So all sorts of cool stuff. And if you want to check out our Discord, we got a community Discord. Check out the description down below. Just sign up, just a place. Trying to build a community, have you guys have a spot to talk ball with. And don't worry, we talk all sorts of sports. Once the NFL season's over, hopping right into the combine, hopping into draft stuff, hopping into the NBA, NHL, and baseball when summer rolls around. So appreciate everybody stopping by. Again, like, subscribe.